Vikings defensive coordinator wish list is down to 2. Wah, wah, wah. All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Lupagus, and the Minnesota Vikings search for a new defensive coordinator is now whittled down to 2. We will talk about that very, very soon. Before we do, be sure to subscribe to the channels, like the vids, hit up Lift Bridge Brewing for some fantastic and delicious brews to get you through these final months of winter. The groundhog saw its shadow and it said to go get yourself some more Lift Bridge. All right, so news just broke a few minutes ago. Giro Avero, former defensive coordinator of the Broncos, takes the same position with the Carolina Panthers. Now the Vikings have 2 options left on the guys they have interviewed. That is Brian Flores and Mike Pettin. So let's first of all talk about what this means. Is Giro Vero, the Vikings requested an interview with him. I don't know if anything was scheduled. The Panthers swooped in there, and this whole search is kind of just leaving a bad taste in my mouth, giving me a bad feeling, not shedding great light on Kevin O'Connell and just people wanting to join the staff. I mean, you saw Sean Desai already drop out. Giro Rivero now goes to Panthers over the Vikings, doesn't get a chance for the Vikings to even to interview. Is it the personnel? I mean, is that how poorly this defense is looked at? Like there's nothing to work with here. That's one way to look at it. Maybe the Panthers just gave this guy a shit ton of money. I don't know. Maybe Sean Desai thought, hey, I'm maybe he had some guarantees under the table that he was going to get the job if he went over there. So I don't know what the deal is, but the whole thing just kind of leaves a bad taste in the mouth. It makes you wonder what the overall feeling league-wide is about either this coaching staff or the personnel that they have to work with. I lean more toward the personnel probably being the issue. But either way, it's still a little bit concerning that 2 names now have opted for other jobs or taking themselves out of the running altogether. So that leaves 2 options now, Brian Flores and Mike Pettin. Nothing against Mike Pettin personally, but to me, that is the ultimate and the worst choice just because he was part of this defensive coaching staff a year ago. He's the assistant head coach. His hands were on this thing, this horrible defense that was one of the worst secondaries in the entire league, giving up huge passing yards every single week to horse shit quarterbacks. I just don't know how you can feel good about turning it over to him and assuming and hoping things will get better just because there's a different name in charge. To me, that is the worst case option. And if that's the route that actually happens, this whole total search for defensive coordinator will just be, it's pretty much just gonna be a laughing stock. It's going to be a horrible, horrible situation for the Vikings. It's going to look bad. Egg on the face, the whole organization. If it is Brian Flores, and I hope it is, you got yourself a disciplinarian in here, a guy who's not going to take any shit. He's not going to take any half-ass efforts, poor performances. He's going to yank your ass and put in somebody who can get the job done. So I'm still crossing all my digits, all my parts, hoping for Brian Flores. But the fact that another candidate went somewhere else just doesn't sit well with me. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm reading into this too much. Maybe I don't know, making this more personal than it needs to be. But I tell you, I don't know. I just don't like the way this whole thing is going down so far. Doesn't look great. And maybe there'll be more candidates the Vikings will throw into the mix now. We'll see what happens. Again, Vikings taking their time on this. And this one came back to bite him in the ass as Giro Vero goes to Carolina. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about the Vikings defensive coordinator search. Are you getting frustrated? Are you concerned? Is it just other teams throwing a bunch of money at these guys, or other options just way more attractive? Let me know. And also remember to keep your skull in your hole.